Welcome back to Kidsito Sometimes.
Welcome back. What can I say except you're welcome? Oh, you're awesome.
Awesome.
I like that. I like a Disney character or cartoon with a bit of, oomph.
It reminds me of the Community intro.
Yes.
That you like snap along to.
It is. It's fun.
I love Community.
What does our intro sound like? We haven't heard it for so long. We apologize. I've had several ego deaths in the last few weeks and we haven't been able to podcast. I've been at therapy. But you're my real therapy, Kidsito Sometimes fans. And we're so happy to be back. How are you, Chloe? Because we've gone over my frail mental state. How are you doing? How are things in the land of Chloe? A land full of light, levity.
Brevity.
What's
the difference between levity and brevity? Is there a difference?
More on that next episode. But Chloe, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm really good. We last week, Monday, we went to Orkia, which was really fun. And I really had a good time there.
We did.
Although I would not classify myself as an extrovert. I think I'm actually quite introverted, but I don't care how extroverted you say you are. Interviewing, I think we interviewed 27 people.
We did a brand activation. We weren't just there interviewing people for fun. I know. People, we're going to get the lawyers' letters now, but how can we be disloyal to the people who maybe sometimes, hopefully in the future, fund our careers? So we want to be honest with you. It's about being authentic. It's about being upfront. But we had a lot of work to do that day.
But it was lots of fun. And we're gonna compile it into like a vlog that we'll post to YouTube.
Yes, there were some interesting interactions.
It was so wild. Like, I feel like you asked crazier questions than I did. And sometimes...
What a surprise. I'm sure everyone cannot believe that that's the case.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. But there was some, sometimes I feel like it's like good awkward, like the I love cone video. That's delightfully awkward.
Fun awkward.
It's cute, it's nice. But then you get really awkward. Like Sam cracked a joke and this guy completely straight-faced turns to Sam and goes, "It's a bit of a dad joke. It's actually a bad joke."
But in a horrible way. I was
so I was like,
what's wrong with you?
Damn.
But
Don't like dads?
I love bathing in just awkward. My friends know it, they hate it. And I don't blame them because I tasted it. I tasted it in big spoons. And I asked this one person if she enjoyed being called a MILF, and she was like, "No, don't ask that question."
Yeah, she's like, I don't like that question.
"Too late, you person from Ukraine. I already have." And I was like, "How about the war, hey?" And she was like, "No." So there was some real crash and burns. And we met some very cool people, some people that are going to be on the podcast. Grab by the balls. He's fantastic. He's a doctor that's just too goddamn good looking for his own.
He should be on a Cape Town Grey's Anatomy.
He should, but he'd actually know what's going on.
True.
And they should use the sets as real people rushing them in.
True. I need 10 cc stat.
Basically we should just film in a hospital. We're pitching these ideas, shoot them down in the comments. But and then Evan Roos, the Springbok. That was my favorite part of the day. That's the only reason I did this whole thing.
We got sent the media list in the morning. So going through, cool. Cassidy was there, who's been on the podcast as well.
Vegan people, not that they aren't cool, but they don't play for the Springboks.
True.
Don't hate the player. Come on. Yeah.
And Sam saw Evan Roos and he goes, "That's my interview."
I was like, "I'm interviewing that guy. There's no way." And it was really funny, except there's one point. I don't think we'll even put it out, but we'll chat about it when he comes on the podcast. I was like, "When did you make the transition from breast milk to oat milk?" Oat milk Orkia. And I think he just thought I was talking about normal milk because he did and looked straight in the camera. He's like, "I'm still on. I still have breast milk," or something like that. And I was like,
his mom's there. No, he does.
Yeah, I was like, that's why he brought his mom to this. But
still trying to wean him off.
What a cool human being. It's always nice to meet people and you're like, okay, they're awesome. Because sometimes you meet them, you're like, these people are the worst. Met Dale Steyn once. And he wasn't great, but I hear he is actually nice. So
really,
yeah,
not a good.
It wasn't a fun interaction.
Was it just a bit plain?
Yeah, but if I look at the interactions that I have with some people, I'm not comparing myself to Dale Steyn or Evan Roos. Take it easy. But I'm like, Oh my word. It's so funny our interactions because they keep getting funnier. Like I was stopped the other day by this, so he must have been 16 or 17. And he was like, oh my word, you're the guy. And his friend was like, who is that? And I was like, this is weird. And then you try and be funny and I'm not funny sometimes. Well, a lot of the time. So I can see people being like, that guy's the worst.
Yeah.
Or someone has been like, is that you? I'm like, of course that's me. And I'm like, they could be speaking about anything.
True.
So I know I let a lot of people down.
We talked about this the other week. You don't let people down. I think unless you're like really horrible to someone, then probably that's not the best.
But I don't know. I've said things like sarcastically thinking that they're going to find that funny. And they're like, oh, I'm like, oh, they just think I'm an idiot. But we did meet someone who was very cool.
Yes.
A guy does hair.
Oh, so cool.
Not only a guy who does hair, a guy named Guy that does hair.
Which just makes it doubly hilarious.
Exactly. Some would say triple.
Yeah.
Triple captain, anyone? More on that later. But no, he was so cool.
Yeah.
Also had no business being that good looking. I mean, fuck.
And Sam pointed this out, but he's spot on. He looks like the combination between Russell Brand and Robert Pattinson. Like if there were one person, that's him.
Yeah, and he's like, cool. We also want to get him on the podcast, but he seemed too cool for school. So I don't know how we approach him. He's offered to cut my hair into a mullet.
So he specializes in mullets. Like that's like his thing.
The Malay. Rumor has it he invented the Malay. Oh. That's just ridiculous.
Wow, the inventor of the mullet. But yeah, then he offered to cut Sam's hair for free. Which I would love to see. Because
he's at Scar, and Scar, just for walking in there, they charge you like 300 Rand. And then if you're not dressed and looking super cool, that's an extra 200 Rand for bringing the sort of hip nature of the place down. The fact that I think cool is saying things like hip. No, that's a key bone in the way your body functions. Yeah, fuck. The hip. Fuck off, Samuel. You can tell I'm rusty. I'm rustier than Rusty Tehran playing T20 cricket for South Africa. We actually loved Rusty Tehran. Good bowler. Also probably had no right to play for the Proteas.
Might be a bit rusty if he started to play now.
Okay, let's power through that one. But
I think you look good with a mullet, but also if this happens at the same time, let's just say, Sam and is it just you and your brother? Mm-hmm. They play
just me and Rupert.
Not fantasy football, fantasy Premier League.
And this is not Google. People know what you're talking about.
But we on the weekend we were just hearing about everybody's forfeits that they've got in their teams. But you and your brother decided that you would dye your or bleach your eyebrows.
Because we both got these big old eyebrows, which I tend to enjoy. But we'll dye them. The loser will have to dye them, so that'll be funny. But it also just got us speaking about fantasy Premier League because. My dad cracked it, and maybe other people have cracked this before, and I was like, just because I didn't think of it, now that someone's thought of it, I think it's clever. That's the sort of narcissism I battle with on a daily basis, but we're working on it. But he said, what a clever way to get people to watch the Premier League. And that's exactly what it is. I watched 7 Premier League games this weekend just because of this fantasy Premier League shit. Yeah. So it's so clever, but we're all watching it, and now we've got our teams. It took a very long time to explain it to a group of girls, and that's not a ain't a top G opinion. I was just
to a group of,
to be fair, it didn't make sense.
It just you guys were about to explain, but it just happened that the girls were the ones who didn't get it. In the
sounds
group
exactly like what I said. So, but anyway,
to me it still doesn't completely make sense. I won't lie, because I don't understand how your team isn't an actual team that plays. It's made up of a lot of different players from other teams.
Yeah, it's a fantasy. But when you had that dream that we'll never speak about again with Enrique Iglesias? Oh yeah, it's a fantasy. Okay, it's not real. I don't actually now have to...
My ping pong fantasy.
Don't have to go kill Enrique Iglesias because...
Yeah.
But you know what it feels like, love and...
That was like the...
Yeah, it's a good song. The ping pong shows in Thailand, something completely different, but they earn the same level of respect because they are feats of athletic ability. I advise you Googling that and consuming that in the video format to see what the human body is capable of achieving.
And
I hope. But it's been fun.
But yeah, Oh, and
no,
also...
it's ok. Yeah, but we struggled there for just interviewing some of the early swimmers. That was weird.
It was amazing.
What I really wanted to speak about is also all these fucking fake people. That's direct contact with you. The fake KETS fans. Oh, we can't wait to meet up. We can't wait to see you. Anytime, we'll be there. Monday morning, 7:30 in Camps Bay. Where were you? Nowhere to be seen.
Not one person came.
No, that's a lie. 3 people came. Of the 3, 2 were family members. So you can fuck off with your
and
toasties.
Mike. Oh no, and Hannah. We had 4 people.
Okay, 4
But
people.
to be fair, they're
Mainly
all our friends.
Yeah, which we thought you were until you... What's that? Chloe, get the knife out of your back there from all these fake... Chad Gold. Oh, talks a big game online. A lot of erotic sort of comments. Where was he? Nowhere to be found. So all that glitters isn't gold. That's specifically for you, Chad Gold, you piece of shit.
Even after we sent you pictures of Sam from school.
That's true. To be fair, we only really posted an Instagram story. We didn't really announce that we were going to be...
We talked about it on the podcast and we posted an Instagram story.
I don't recall either, really. So that's why I think it's fine. But it's also... I've realized I've grown up a lot because I wear a retainer now. And that's when you know it's downhill. Because first of all, the retainer, it's very uncomfortable in your mouth. It's like having a gum guard sleeping with and you're not, playing for the Springboks. But apparently it's going to save my teeth from exploding. So I don't know if anyone's been in tooth pain. That is not a pain I'm willing to be in ever again. So if it's preventable, your boy is going to try and prevent it.
I just have to say, so obviously Sam wears it when he sleeps. In the morning, he'll wake up and he's got this lisp. So you go, good morning. And you go, can you go get me some coffee?
That is
it's like
bullshit.
the funny thing. And then now every morning, whatever Sam says, I'll just repeat back to him with a lisp. He's like, I really had such a bad sleep last night.
It doesn't sound anything like that. I hate that.
Like
but that without fail, I can be hungover, in a bad mood, grumpy, depressed. If I hear Chloe do that lisp impersonation, I just can't stop laughing.
I just can't stop laughing.
You piece of shit.
It's so funny. I also used to have to wear a retainer at one point, but then I feel like when you get a retainer, you wear it diligently for like 6 months. And then you kind of start to fall off, and then you start wearing it maybe like when you remember. And then at some point, I found my retainer in the back of my bathroom cupboard after 5 years. And my mom was like, no, Chloe, it'll still fit. Just pop it back in your mouth. I said, absolutely not.
No, not retained.
Not for me. Yeah. Yeah. But also... very, very exciting stuff that's happened this week is I have finally joined the fancy one, the Silo. I cannot shut up about it.
This is the Silo Virgin Active. I'm thinking of quitting because Chloe's so annoying about it. No, she is. And you just want a bit of space, and now there's someone here. She's yapping away. We go out to talk to friends. She talks about the Silo. It's like it's a multi-level marketing scheme that we've been trapped in, but she does it completely by herself. I'm thinking of changing.
By all means, I don't mind. I thought that Sam was being like a bit over the top, like...
So.
I mean, it's probably one of the most expensive Virgin Actives, but I mean, for good reason. It is just incredible. I spend my whole day, okay, maybe a bit of an over-exaggeration, but I spend a good chunk of my day thinking about when next I'm going to go to the Silo.
Yeah, so if you thought things were all rosy in Chloe's life, just know, like you, she struggles to plan a day. It's hard for everyone. Life is generally quite hard.
Yeah.
But the Silo, it changes things. So you've been enjoying it, but you don't use any of the proper things. You don't go in the steam room. You don't go in the sauna. You're a fake Silo member. You just like it that the leg press doesn't impale you.
I'm like, wow, all the machinery doesn't hurt me. Like, it just feels so good.
That's pretty standard. But we've got to get back to the news, Chloe.
Okay.
There's a lot of piffle puffle, wiffle waffle that's been going on here. And of course,
brevity.
Yeah, boy. Well, we love it. That sounds like a didgeridoo. No, it's the didgeridoo. Let me see if I can do that again. No. It also kind of feels racist, that now.
Maybe.
You know the didgeridoo?
I do.
But
Oh,
South African news, it's depressing and may make you want to leave. But some of it, we got to just get through. And some of it's fun. Do we have fun news this week?
we do.
Not really.
No, we always make it a bit fun.
Okay, so what you have up first for us, Chlo Dog?
Well, we at our Tambo, they seized 236 million rands worth of crystal meth. That's some crazy stuff. That's like 700 kilos worth of crystal meth.
I've never counted meth in the kilo, but thank you. I'm like, oh yeah, no, that is a lot.
That's a lot of crystal meth.
That's one of my favorite words, tekop. Just rolls off the tongue.
It does, yeah.
I had an experience recently while I was at a barber.
Yeah.
With a cutthroat, getting a cutthroat shave. You know, it's quite fun. You're feeling, you want to spruce yourself. You want to treat yourself as a man. It's about the only thing you can do because you go to the shops. The clothing is either monochromatic or denim. So there's not a lot out there for us. You got to spice things up. Maybe wear a G-string. And then that unlocks something that you can never put back in the closet again. So anyway, I'm getting my face shaved by this guy, and you know, he starts talking, and it's quite hard. It's like at the dentist, they're shaving your neck and face. It's quite hard to talk to them.
Yeah.
But it's going nicely, and I have this effect on people, I think, because I just speak a lot, or I speak to them a lot. I'm quite, you know, easy to chat to. Mm-hmm. They just start telling me things that they have no business telling me. So this guy starts saying how he used to be a drug addict. I'm like, oh yeah, oh geez, that's so terrible, you know?
Yeah.
And he says, yeah, but it's fine because I got all my drugs for free because I used to cut people's hair. And I was like, oh, well, I mean, that's entrepreneurial. But I was like, so what were you addicted to? Like heroin, coke? He was like, no, tuck. I was like, oh, Jesus. And this is right where it's about your Adam's apple, and like any move right here could cut you up. But basically, the whole takeaway is don't be stereotypical and don't judge people. Just because a tick-op's hands are shaking around your throat with a very sharp razor, don't judge. Who are we? You know, people in tick houses shouldn't throw glass. I don't know. I was trying to make cool tick glass, but
or ex-tick up.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe he's like,
I don't think it ever
I
don't think it ever leaves your system. It kind of just sits underneath your paws there, waiting to react. But no, it was a bizarre experience. I'm not going back to any barbers from now on. No, I'm not.
No, it just seems like
give
such
him a chance. What, to kill me? Are you nuts? I can hear the people now.
I don't know. I feel like I would go to a barber just for the experience if I could.
Yeah, for your beard. Beardy. That's the funniest thing you can call someone. Beardy or baldy. Baldy works for me.
Yeah. But women actually do shave their face. That's what I was using on your eyebrows the other day.
That's why we call them beardies.
Little face shaver. But just going back to the drugs that were seized.
Oh, is that what we were talking about?
Yeah. Get back to the news. I often wonder, like, what happens to those drugs after they're seized?
After they get taken.
That's a shit ton of crystal meth that they have. That's 700 kilos worth of, why are you laughing? Of crystal meth. And you know, like the thing that they say that they do is why are you laughing?
Only Chloe will make a joke. Then the person laughs. Why are you laughing? I didn't expect that dramatic flair. I didn't expect. I'm at a loss for words. It's a ooh, shit. I was like, what's wrong? You know, we can swear on this. I know, dramatis. Bring it back. I
thought you were laughing at how bad the joke was.
Little column A, little column B. But it was damn funny. It's nice to see you swinging for the fences. And it just caught me off guard. My knees feel weak. This is turning into the shit podcast where there's like friends just podcast and like, remember that one time? You're like, bah! And they laugh for 2 minutes. You're like, guys, come on.
Guys, we weren't there.
No, you guys didn't come to Okia, so you can fuck off. Free podcast a week. People telling us what to put. We actually like that.
Can you imagine if we started a KETS run club and then no one shows up? You know what actually would be mortifying, even worse than that, is you organize a meetup.
Yeah.
Can you imagine advertising it and then your mom comes, you know, support you. And
My
then-
mom wouldn't leave. She was interviewed
very
about
sweet.
4 times. This woman, I've never met someone who loves the camera more, but is also loved by the camera. You guys should check out her OnlyFans. It is
Samuel.
50% off for the first week. But no, so yes. So where do these drugs go?
Okay.
Let's pick it up from there because oh boy.
So in theory, right, they get confiscated, documented, and then they get destroyed, right? Burn them, whatever. I mean,
But what happens if you burn weed? Surely everyone in the vicinity gets high.
hotboxing.
Okay, now she's just lost it. She got a couple of
I
giggles
know.
and she's lost
Now
the
you've
plot.
just lost it. But I remember in 2013, there was a case, this makes me laugh so much, that there was a cop, right? Confiscated drugs from a drug dealer, but then sold them back to the drug dealer.
At hopefully a fair price, because otherwise it would be too much.
Honestly, like entrepreneurial. Like,
We live in South Africa. I have, when the police arrive, you shouldn't feel scared. And that's what I'm like, oh, something's about to happen or go wrong, or they're going to get me, or the cops in South Africa are terrifying. Or then something goes wrong, then you phone them and then they don't arrive. So you have to like wait up till 1 o'clock in the morning after you got your bloody car smashed into, and it's already an inconvenience. Now you got to wait for the sergeant to arrive, and you're like, this is. And I just love how they're very honest. You're like, so what are the chances of catching this guy? And they just laugh. Imagine.
It's not looking good.
Imagine that's how you spoke to your boss, whatever your job was. You're a lawyer, you're an accountant, you're a video editor, and you're just there. Oh, so is this going to be done today? And they don't even speak of it. They just giggle the whole way. You're like, okay. So probably not, eh? I remember it was one of the first memes I shared. It was 2010. I had just got on Facebook. In South Africa, the pizza man comes before the policeman.
lol.
Yeah, I thought it was good then.
Lol.
Hasn't aged well. And you know what also hasn't aged well?
The pizza man comes first is also what happens in pornos.
Well, the man always comes first.
The pizza man, yeah.
Oh, yes. It's fair play in terms of wordplay.
Foreplay.
I've always wondered with those pornos if anyone's having a good time. I don't think so.
I mean, if pizza's involved, maybe.
I just
Snacks on set. I don't know.
Greasy hands. It's one of those industries that it must be tough.
Yeah. No. In all seriousness, yeah. Pretty grimy.
Oh, now you want to be serious, huh? And now you just go home. What did you do today? Got gangbanged. Okay, no, you deserve it. Into the bath. I'll get the takeaways.
The pizza man comes to leave me alone. I've had enough.
No. Sex work is real work. We've said that on many occasions.
We have.
If anything, it was more respect because it's hard work.
Yes.
Like some people say, "Oh, my boss is fucking me." These people mean it.
Yeah.
No. These people mean it.
These people mean it. Talking about sausage, boerewors.
Speaking of saucy, that shouldn't be where it is. Vegans. Haven't vegans ruined saucies? What's going on there? Because I knew that there's like a whole new thing in South Africa where boerewors has to go through these stringent...
I mean, I didn't know that vegans were involved.
They're always involved.
It's more that I think that like vegan patties aren't included in this.
Oh, okay.
'Cause they don't involve
So
meat.
what happens to the boerewors? Because it's like false advertising people have been saying, or what?
Yeah. So it actually, I think, started. It's meat products in general.
Okay.
So that's like burger patties, whatever, but not including tinned or canned meat, which I'm most suspicious about. Well,
you get that nose to the ground.
But so with boerewors, it has to be from now on, it has to be 90% meat with a fat content lower than 30%. So before that, boerewors was less than 90% meat.
And lots of fat. Okay, so
Yeah.
it seems like a win, but there's a difference between like econo burgers. What are those?
This is what's like hella freaky, right?
Okay.
So it's different types of It's like Know Your Burger or different types of burger patties. So you get your ground burger patties. Probably maybe get them from Woolies. Those are like the meatiest ones, right?
Sure.
They're probably like 99% meat. Great. That's what you want, right?
1% pigeon. Yes.
Pigeon is still meat.
Okay, so then you have regular burgers which have to contain at least 70% meat.
Maybe that's like, I don't know, like not fries. What's it called?
No,
like
definitely not.
Rainbow chicken or something like that.
Yeah, the cause of listeriosis.
Yeah.
Then you have value burger, then the meat requirement's 55%, and then the economy burger patties have to have a raw meat requirement of 35%. So we're not talking about vegan stuff. We're talking about literally...
I mean, you're essentially vegan at that point.
Well, at that point, yeah. You know, it's just like there's a splash of it. So, my God, that's terrifying.
What else is in there?
In Burri.
No, not burritos.
In meat.
These economy burgers.
Oh. You know, we asked where the drugs go. Into the burgers. That's one of my favorite. You know, if you told me that these chips had crack in them, I'd believe them because they're so tasty. That's one of those classic one-liners that white people, get these chips away from me. I can't help myself. You're like, okay. I mean, I say that at least once a day.
Yeah. Sounds like, take this chucky away from me. And then like 30 minutes later, like,
give it back. Give
it back.
You're contributing to my body dysmorphia. I feel there should be a petition to do Retainer Sam for a podcast.
Retainer baby. If you guys watch Sweet Life on Deck, please say that you remember that song. I require y'all. That was a good song. Lil Sean, Big Sean.
This person has come up a lot on the internet recently, and we try and ignore it because yes, we're on the internet, yes, we get you through the week, we've replaced your Zoloft, you now have a pleasant relationship with your father, you speak to your mother on the weekends, so it's
thanks to us.
But we sometimes do have to follow these people and talk about them because I have a confession to make. I have fallen in love with Liver King. When he first came out, I thought this guy was the biggest idiot in the world. Now when someone says, "What's up, Primal?" or "Hey, Primal," I find myself fully aroused. Chloe, only in the bedroom. But so maybe take us a bit, paint a portrait of who Liver King is, because you don't like him. I think I would oversell him.
Okay. I feel like I'm not totally against him. But I do think that he is bizarre. I don't think that he owns a t-shirt. Have you seen the...
No, but that's what I'm saying. Tell us who he is before you give your opinions. Because a lot of people won't know who he is. Okay,
it's actually a bit hard to explain him. I feel like he is like an ancestral fitness influencer, if that makes sense. Like,
that is.
He tries to promote like an ancestral lifestyle, which means like eating raw meat. Although I'm pretty sure we discovered fire at some point. And he's like super, super fit.
What's the difference between an ancestral and an ancestral way of living? The big A in more ways than one. You like that? Put that one in the bank. Okay, continue. Yeah, so he's ancestral living.
No, and this man is jacked.
Jacked to the gills.
Yeah. But like I said, like...
Also very red always.
Beautiful beard.
Good beard. Wow.
Luscious beard. It's probably because of all of the raw meat that he eats.
Just has a tub of lard that he rubs in there for the essential oils. But yeah.
Probably. He makes apparently $100 million a year off of his business.
He's got many supplements, public speaking.
But I mean, boiled down, he wants to promote a lifestyle that our ancestors used to follow.
Well, so this is on his website. Champion. Who the fuck put this word in here? Hey, which one of champion?
That's an honors in English. An honors. I love saying that to Sam. Like when we played word association, he went out first in both rounds.
Championing the Asian path to a more robust life, full of adventure and excitement, and guided by the principle of ancestral living.
Nice.
But
well done.
You know, in every meal he advises taking creatine, which is interesting. But
and protein powder.
But it is something to get behind. So the 9 that he thinks we should all achieve are sleep, eat, move, shield, connect, cold, sun, fight, bond. That seems more than 9, or did I just get bored? So sleep, we all do that. But I think we do it less. So I agree with him. Eat.
I think we probably do it more. We don't have to
more.
be as alert. Yeah, imagine.
I'm convinced humans used to hibernate.
No. Imagine trying to sleep in the wild. You're like, maybe a lion's going to eat me tonight.
Well, now we don't sleep because you go, maybe I'm going to miss the meeting with my boss tomorrow. Let me look at a blue screen. You can hear I'm one of his descendants. There are only a chosen few who can promote this ancestral life. But yeah, okay, so eat, sleep, move. These are all pretty obvious. We've gotten worse at all of them, I'd say.
Sure.
And well, in terms of the way we live, I think we can do them better.
Sure.
Shield. This is when it starts to get a bit whack and it gets a bit scary because if I believe him, I'm like, this is way too scary. So obviously protect your family, but also they start going on about oils that are on like chips and then like Wi-Fi and what is it, like EMT, like these radio waves and, you know, all those sort of things, which I'm like, they're so embedded in this world. I almost want to bet on him being wrong because that'll be better than him being right.
Okay, true.
Absolutely true.
True.
What else does he have on there?
Connect.
Connect is good. And I think we do it less.
Yeah, and I could barefoot walk a bit more.
Yeah.
I could.
To quote a Liver King quote, they do these studies, and again, this is completely anecdotal. They've done studies in the 1980s in America or something like that, and 3 people in America. The studies are always done in America because USA. And 3 people felt that they had someone in times of like extreme struggle to call. Now that number averages on 0 in 2019 or 2020. Yeah. So our connections have been lost.
I actually quite like that one then. Yeah. Cold. He says that we must never be comfortable with being comfortable. So you got to take cold showers, do sunrise swims. Like you got to shock the system.
Oh, and also I think that is like a good one. There is nothing more dangerous than being comfortable. And I mean, I sound like a weirdo.
Why am I starting to actually go behind you?
You see, when you get behind, then it's like any good conspiracy or weird thing. Like there's enough truth in there to get you going.
See, so these sort of like ancestral tenets, like, okay, then the other one, sun, fight, which is like adrenaline. And then you have bond, which is like...
Oh, that's the connection.
It's a little bit socialist. I don't know. But whatever. Like, I think that these tenets are...
Social, not socialist.
No, if you read his like little bio on Bond, it's like how everyone must be equal.
Oh, that's interesting for someone who makes $100 million a year selling things.
It's always the rich people.
Yeah, we should share more.
For socialism.
All right, let's share. No.
Yeah. But like these, I'm like, I can kind of get behind that. But then it's like, well, is it really that ancestral if you're taking creatine?
But I think it's like, if anything, so if this guy inspires you to live a healthier lifestyle, he's winning. It's like all these things. I think a lot of the stuff he does to go viral. And we have like such a bad understanding of things now because we've been taught from a young age now to go, this is good, this is bad, there's no in between. And that's how we've been raised in this sort of online culture. Whereas like you can look at those 9 things and be like, these are awesome. Let me do that instead of going like, this guy eats liver, walks around, bare-chested, he's an idiot. He can be both.
I like that. It's about nuance.
It's about the balance. The balance between an Afrikaans accent and a lisp.
It's about the balance. I really can't do that properly.
No, it's the...
But what I found funny is that he tries to get people to drink bone broth, which in my opinion is absolutely disgusting. Some people love it. It's very high in protein, but it's also very high in glycerin, which is that why people call it boner broth.
And it makes you erect.
Yeah. So if you like wake up in the morning, if you have a lot of bone broth, especially like towards the end of the day, you'll wake up like super erect, which is funny.
Another reason to get behind Liver King. But yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see where he is in like 2 or 3 years, because so often these things pop and they're viral and that's, but it'll be cool. I don't know. I've got my eye on you, Liver King. I know that'll change everything now. I think it's just interesting because when I first saw him, I was like, what a fucking idiot. And now I'm quite...
My first exposure to him was through Cody Co, and that's what put me off.
All mocking him, yeah.
No, because I saw what he was eating and I gagged.
Yeah. No, the stuff's not like when he eats bull testicles, you're like, I'm never going to do that. I'm just not.
He blends it in a blender.
That's disgusting.
No,
but
it's tough to watch.
we've also had a national shutdown, which I saw the one day when I was trying to get sushi in Long Street. So you can, you know,
I saw it when I was trying to get sushi in Long Street, eh?
Yep, I live a life of oppression as much as the next person. So it's important to know that I go through daily struggles as well. But I saw this big group of people and I was like, oh my word, it's a shutdown day. So the shutdown was organized by like COSATU and all those other, what are those called? Are those abbreviations or acronyms? They're acronyms.
Acronyms, yeah. Although
It's definitely not an abbreviation.
which I found funny was they actually didn't plan to do it on the same day. It was like, they were both like, oh, let's do it on Wednesday. And then they were like, oh my God, me too. Let's team up, bestie.
Hashtag me too, lest we forget.
Yeah.
Lest we forget. But what was it about?
They were protesting load shedding, a falling wage, high cost of living, inflation, all stuff that we're...
Yeah, what happens when a wage falls? Someone's got to help it get up. All right, move it on. But yeah, all those sort of things. But this is essentially demands for like R1 trillion sort of, I suppose in like global economic, it's like a bailout or a package. I'm not sure what the term is.
I think they wanted to fund a basic income grant.
Yes, but the basic income grant, I thought we were told, hey, it's happening.
But we're told a lot of stuff.
We have been told a lot of things, but I think they want
tuition's going to be free and load shedding's going to stop.
They want the basic income grant to be 1,500 rand, which is finally sounds livable. You know, the sort of 400 rand SRD grants and that sort of stuff. You're like, how is that conceivable that a human being, especially one that has dependents and that sort of stuff, how is that? How 400 rand? What are we doing?
And for you to eat a nutritious diet.
Yeah.
You know, like it's not just like, oh, you have enough food. Like, no, you must actually be.
I don't know. I actually think it's harder. Oh, yes, that's what you're saying. It's more expensive to eat.
We are on the same page.
We're on the same team.
Do you know what the minimum wage in South Africa is?
It's like 25 rand.
Yeah.
What is it?
No, it is. Yeah, it's like 23 rand.
Okay.
I just find that crazy because in the States, I think it's like 120 rand or something like that. In the UK, it's 200 rand. An hour.
Okay, well, I mean, that's much more. Of course, the cost of living is probably more expensive there as well. But I'd still say we've got a pathetic minimum wage.
The lowest one in the world is Cuba. And it's estimated that the average person makes 150 rand a month. A month.
The minimum wage.
Yeah, that's like around 7 rand an hour.
That's
probably
crazy.
less.
But one would hope that they have more access to amenities and stuff because of the socialist nature. Maybe they're not paying for healthcare.
Who knows?
So that extra 10 rand they would have made that month. That's fucking diabolical. What did you say? 150? How much a month?
Yeah, 150 rand a month.
Christ, my word.
No one was impressed by those quick maths that I did.
No,
I'm joking, I did it before.
Well, maybe they are impressed when they listen. What else is good? We always need some good news to buoy these sad topics.
Let's lift our spirits up a bit.
Incredible topics. No, these are just stealing things from movies.
The Springboks are third in the world despite losing to Australia.
Yeah.
Despite everything, we're still number 3, which is very cool.
Are you proud of that?
Yes.
Oh, no, I'm not. The Springboks are our everything. We put a lot on them. They got a lot of pressure. But they live fantastic lives as well. So I don't actually... we did those joke ratings and people are like, they're human beings. I'm like, yeah, who have awesome lives. No one who comments on the Springbok also, no one influences their selection.
They also know that hundreds... thousands of people will analyze their play.
Yes, and I don't think they read it, or they don't say, or maybe they read all of it.
Oh, they're a terrible person.
Yes, no, and the people who do these reviews and these things, also they don't treat them as people, not because they've been horrible, because they just are celebrities.
Yeah,
it's like the way people talk about Kim Kardashian and that sort of stuff. Like no one cares, but if you're like, oh, your sister has a sex tape or something, everyone will be like, that's a bit more hush. Yeah. You're like, haha, I watch Kim Kardashian get bumped. No, you know what I mean? Because it's not a real person to you. It's a celebrity.
Like that about us. They're like, oh yeah, like she's kind of hot, or oh yeah, like. Whatever.
Oh yeah, the comments are like, you'd never say that to a person because we're not people to them. We're not Springboks or that sort of celebrity, I don't think. But yeah, and in South Africa, a Springbok is the closest I think you can be to being like a celebrity in terms of across racial and cultural divides.
Yeah.
Quite, because otherwise the celebrities are quite localized into, whatever niche they're in.
No, I mean, like, Sia Khaleesi shows up somewhere. It's a big deal.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Whereas like Mark Loddering, I saw him at Woolworths, and shame this poor woman had cornered him.
Oh, honestly. Just the one, yeah.
For like 30 minutes, I did my whole shop. But he's so lovely.
Famous enough to be recognized and cornered by one person.
Oh, but he's lovely.
He's one of our best comedians.
Yeah.
No, he's very famous, Chloe.
I know.
He's close to Springbok level. But yeah.
Yeah.
So we're in third place. The All Blacks are fifth, which softens the blow. It's fantastic.
We're like minuscule points away from England.
We still... Are they second or?
No, they're fourth.
Fourth. Oh, they're hot in our tails.
Yeah, I think
the colonial bastards.
So we're on 86.49 points and they're on 86.25.
Ooh. No, we're better than them. Ah, God.
We'll see how this weekend goes.
We will. And we've got some exciting things to speak about. If you're watching, you can see what I'm doing. If you're listening. If you're listening, thank you so much. That was weird. Anyway, we've got exciting things lined up and we can't wait to chat about them because I feel like a lot of people have been on this KETS journey from the beginning. And it's almost like seeing your slightly ugly son really start to come into his own. The glasses are off, the contacts are in, the women are flocking. And the men. Mainly the men, actually, when it comes to KETS. But we want to chat a bit about sports because the KETS sports segment
changes every week.
How did it start?
I think it's progressively worse. Before it was pretty good. It was like, I was about to do the F1 theme song.
But yes, we've had UFC that we haven't been able to cover because we haven't been podcasting.
Because of Sam's ego deaths.
Yep, but Leon Edwards done killed Kamaru Usman.
Yeah.
And you'd think that Usman was like the biggest loser there, but it was Drake. Drake, the type of guy to bet millions of dollars on obscure UFC fights.
That's not that obscure though.
No,
Kamaru
it was a massive fight. I meant like, it's just weird that that's what he's spending money on. I suppose when you have that much money, you can just do whatever you want.
Yeah, we're like, it's a lot of money to lose. And he's like,
8 million rand in that one bet. Ain't nah.
Yeah, or one night, because it was on that fight and then, I don't know, another random fight. But people think that he's cursed. I just think he's shit at betting.
I think he did.
So, you're so cursed. It's
well, he always just bets on the favourites, and then if the favourite loses, well, then Drake loses. So I don't think he has a nuanced understanding of the fight game.
Yeah.
Because he ain't good at it.
Which is also funny, because didn't Dana White, he lost like $1 million?
Chloe. It's Dana Black. No.
What?
I don't know. I was trying to do a BLM thing. Just couldn't get the wheels going. Couldn't get the wheels turning as I needed to. I feel like my have I spoken about my, what's it called?
Gluten intolerance.
My heartburn on the show.
Maybe, briefly.
Rennies, I am begging you on my hands and knees, just send over some things for us, please. I need you. You make my life so much better. It's replaced Panada and must-have things in my toiletry bag.
Yeah.
And that's a Panada, you were there for a long time.
What's the difference between Rennies and Grandpa's?
I suppose that's like asking what's the difference between Coca-Cola and Pepsi. They're the same. They're just different brands in the heartburn market.
Yeah, one will tell you, proud of you, kiddo.
Yeah. Well, both of my grandpas died when I was very young, so it doesn't have a positive brand association. And they both didn't have, happy endings.
Oh. Pat.
They had happy endings many a time in massage parlors. No, they didn't. Maybe they did. I can't speak on their behalf. I wish I got to know them better. But life is one cruel, cold mistress.
It is.
And it'll get ya.
And you know who knows that best?
Who?
Poor Danny Rick.
Daniel Ricciardo. Time to say goodbye. Your shit at driving cars. Bring back Roman Grosjean. I hate Daniel Rick. No, I don't hate him, but I think it's overs, cadovers.
Shame.
And it's also like, I don't like seeing these like ex-world beaters going into shit cars and like hating it. Just retire. You got so much money.
Yeah.
Boats and hoes, baby.
Shame.
The Catalina wine mixer, that's you for your rest of your life. Enjoy it.
I just don't know if he's ready to retire.
I have this thing where I just can't feel sorry for people who have lived their life dream. I'm happy for them. but it's overs now.
But it's like cut short. How many, like, come on. Like, that's why Alonso came back. Vettel has stayed on for so long.
Oh no, their driving career was cut short. Chloe, people lose their lives in their... There's child cancer.
Imagine your dream job and you only are able to work for 20 years, max.
That's a fucking long time. I have zero sympathy, but the whole way this was handled in the F1 world, like Alpine announced Oscar, and he was like, "What the fuck,
Oscar
guys?" Pastrami. What is his actual? Piastri. He was like, "I'm not coming." What the? It's kind of like when you go to the same party and all of your Instagram stories are with this girl, and then you check her Instagram and she's posted something with this other guy and none of you, and she doesn't even repost the things that you've posted. That was kind of like Alpine and Oscar.
Sure. Wow. Sounds personal.
No. Maybe.
Yeah. No, that was a bit awkward.
Those were dark days. What was his actual tweets? What did he say? I remember him he didn't hold back. He was wild.
Yeah. He says, so basically I think Alpine said something along the lines of, we're happy to announce that Oscar will probably be joining us, whatever. Don't quote me on that. He said, I understand without my agreement, Alpine F1 have put out a press release late this afternoon that I'm driving for them next year. This is wrong, and I've not signed a contract with Alpine for 2023. I will not be driving for Alpine next year.
I can't imagine that's his voice, but you get the gist of it.
It's my voice.
It's me. But it's just wild how like these $1 million contracts are so sketchy bongo. But anyway, it's
honestly, if he was being offered one by McLaren, like, hello, that's the obvious choice.
Yeah, no, but I saw there's a new function on TikTok here, and the hoes gonna love this. It gives you a notification when someone saves your video to their favorites. So
really?
On TikTok, there's lots of like sexually provocative content. So now if someone saves it for the you know what, you'll get a notification. So I just think they're going to be, just watch, they're definitely going to have to disable it because all these corn stars and stuff are
just posting it.
Are going to post things, but then like, no, I was going to say FW de Klerk, but he's a dead thing. It's going to be like, Cyril Ramaphosa added this video to his favorite, and it's like a girl doing these yoga stretches, and you'll be like, "Zaddy Cyril, you naughty boy."
Yo.
So it's going to be wild out here.
Do you remember when Instagram saw that feature where you could see who you were following, what they were liking,
what their activity was?
That ruined relationships. I won't lie. When I was a toxic queen, I used to look at that stuff.
Fair enough. Fair. All power to you. And all power to the people that have done the bloody Comrades marathon. The Comrades.
Isn't it
the
an
Comrades
ultra-marathon?
It's an ultra-marathon.
It's like 89 kilometers.
Yeah. It's the longest, oldest ultra-marathon. No, the biggest, oldest. It's obviously not the longest. People just make it 91 kilometers. We beat you. But it's the oldest and biggest ultra-marathon in the world.
Right here.
I think it was something like 14,000 people partook in this year's edition, and
that's crazy.
There are some hilarious videos because it is a godly distance to run, and everyone does it, and that's the nice thing about running. It's you versus you, so everyone's going for personal best, or it's their 20th Comrades or whatever it is. There's something on the line. It's not just who comes first. The people who do come first got 260,000 rand. First place for men and women was the same prize money, which is cool.
We must enter next year. I see that on the cards for us.
No, I don't. But so these poor people are trying to make cutoff times because you get a different medal, or you just don't make a cutoff at all, and you run all that way. And it's fine if you you don't make it with like 10Ks to go, because that's still, you would have run a hell of a long way, but you've still got I was short. I've seen people quite literally dying 5 meters from the finish line at cutoff, and you're just going, Oh no!
Yeah.
And then the gun
they're
goes
crawling.
off, and then this person literally like gets cramp in both legs and goes down, and it looks like they've been shot. But it is a scene out of like The Walking Dead, and you just feel heartbroken because these people would have not trained hard enough apparently, no, and they're so close to finishing it. But I'm sure that'll keep them going. And if you need any motivation, just know it does get better or something like that.
Coming from a comrade runner like
Coming from your KETS comrade, not a comrade runner, but yeah.
I got called hombre today.
By who?
I don't know, someone at university.
What did they say to you? How did they bring this up?
Bye, hombre.
Jeez. Did you like it?
Maybe.
Okay. So we've got to that time of the show where it's time to go. But before we go, we got a show overrated, underrated. Chloe, what have you got for me?
I promise you, I got better ones than last time because we hated the ones about bucket hats and New Year's Eve. Hated them.
Our producers had strong words about those. So let's hear what you've got.
So they're more in line for the episode this week. All right.
Thank God. Let's hear them.
Okay.
Please don't ask me if I'm ready. I'm ready.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Overrated, underrated, Daniel Ricciardo.
Daniel Ricciardo is... Meow. He's overrated.
Fact. Sorry. Overrated or underrated, Liver King.
Liver King's underrated. I think his actual message is very wholesome, and I kind of respect what he does to go viral. I'm not going to eat any balls, but there are a lot of people eating balls on the internet, making a lot of money, and nothing really gets said about them.
Love that. Last one. Overrated or underrated, Boerewors.
Boerewors is underrated because you can make a lot of toti-related jokes and enjoy the boerie. And it's been a long time since anyone's gone no homo, which means I think we're progressing as a society. So I think that's all from me.
Fishforce?
Fishwash?
Fishforce?
Fishwash? Just...
I got dragged.
Fishwash is disgusting. But no.
We never tried fishforce in the end.
No.
It tasted pretty
Never
good.
will. Chloe, that's all from me. You got anything? You got anything you want to get off your chest?
Have you got one overrated, underrated for me?
No. I was going to say pre-workout. Not what else you were thinking about, but you can get pregnant from that shit, so watch out. And I don't. You put me on the spot.
Okay.
I see. It's a bit harder than I thought.
Fair enough. There's nothing else from me, but thank you for joining me in the living room today.
You've been joined by the living room and the Liver King.
And the Liver King, exactly. It was so nice to have you.
It was so nice. We'll see you next week. We've got KETS with guests coming back.
Yes,
so
I'm very
get excited for that. We're going to do a whole host of interviews with some pretty cool people, from Springboks to people you'll first look at, be like, why are they on the show? And then afterwards you'll be like, that's why. We'll see you then. Bye.
Bye.